Welcome back to CBS This Morning Saturday. We begin this half hour with The Dish and Chef Jeff McInnis. Born in the Florida Panhandle, he was poised to become a fisherman or a chef, and we are certainly glad he chose the kitchen.
StarChefs named him a rising star for his cooking at the Miami hotspot Yardbird, and he was honored by the James Beard Foundation and Food and Wine magazine. Now he's executive chef and partner at the recently opened Root and Bone here in New York. Chef Jeff McInnis, welcome to The Dish.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, guys.
So what have you brought for us? This looks fabulous.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I know it's a little early for dinner or lunch, but I thought we'd get a good Southern meal going. So we've got some fried chicken. This is our claim to fame, is the fried chicken. So we brine it in sweet tea. We take a big bath of sweet tea.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah, well, at the
Sweet tea,
restaurant,
wow.
there's always leftover sweet tea. There's always leftover biscuits. So my grandparents taught me to throw nothing away. So we take sweet tea, we load it with cayenne and salt and all these different spices, and we plunge it in there. And it kind of brines. All the flavors get to mingle in there. So it's pretty unique.
We rarely get to have waffles this early in the morning, so it is a nice treat to do chicken and waffles. But walk us through the rest of the table,
Sure.
because these are deviled eggs that you've dyed in some way.
Yeah, so my partner Janine, who's back in the green room somewhere back there, but she was coming up with this dish, and we were doing a basic deviled egg, and we wanted to do a twist on it. She put some pickled beets on top, and she accidentally one day when we were coming up with the recipe, she dropped all the eggs into a big bath of the pickled beet juice, and
No,
by the time
really? I love this story.
by the time we fished them out, they were all kind of pink and colorful. So we thought it was a sign, so we kept it that way. It looked cool. But also over at this side here, this is a salad. Maybe you want to start with a salad, but you know, we're getting towards the end of peach season, so we're going to move this one off, but it'll always come back, I'm sure, during the spring and summer. But we've got some grilled peaches, some heirloom tomatoes. It's our take on a caprese. So instead of your basic tomato and basil and mozzarella, we did the pickled green tomatoes, the peaches. We did some, instead of mozzarella, we did a pimento cheese, which is a Southern favorite.
You were born down in the Florida Panhandle.
Yeah.
In Niceville, am I right to say?
Yeah.
There is such a place?
My folks still live in Niceville, yeah. That's where I was born and raised. It's about, I don't know, 20 or 30 miles from the border of Alabama. And
Right.
It was...
And your folks had your grandparents had a farm in Alabama.
Yeah,
Is that
both
where
sides
your love
of
of food came from?
I think so, yeah. It was a young age I got to go up to my grandma's farm. Grandma Bryce, actually, she had a big chicken farm. And she really let all the birds run together. It was ducks and geese and chickens and guinea hens and everything. And they all kind of ran around the yard together. So thus, the fried chicken was definitely a staple in our family for a
I
long
want to ask,
time.
though, how you came upon Southern food, because I look at your background, and you've really traveled the world.
Yeah.
You grew up in the Florida Panhandle, but you had a chance to go to Japan. I mean, you've tasted all these wonderful cuisines.
Sure.
What's so different about Southern food that you love?
I think because it was from my roots, I just kind of regressed back there. You're right, I did get to travel a lot and do a lot of things at a young age, and at some point, I guess my heart just kind of said, go back to where your roots are from. And so the past 5 or 6 years, I've pretty much immersed myself in Southern food, and you know, we try to bring a lot of these techniques that I've learned at other places and do some different takes on Southern food, and definitely make it as upscale as we can, which isn't that common to see upscale Southern food. So.
You've opened Root and Bone here in New York, which is a smoking hot restaurant here right now.
Thanks.
This is a very competitive market. How do you stay competitive in this town?
Aside from a great name, I love the name
It is a
Root
great
and
name.
Bone.
Yeah, my partner Janine came up with that, but I don't know how to stay at the top. But we've been blessed with a lot of great press. Eater, thanks to Eater, they called us best new fried chicken in New York, which is, I guess, something to be proud of. You know, we just stick clearly to just being in the kitchen every day. I get to cook every day, which is something I'm blessed to do. A lot of chefs kind of become big, and our restaurant's very small. We only have about 50 seats, so I actually get to touch every plate that goes out. So that's important to me. So
That's great.
I guess that's it. Just stay true to the food.
I have to say, the brining really makes such a difference. It has such a
Cool.
wonderful infused flavor. I want to hand you this dish, and
Okay.
as we get your signature on it, we want to ask you if you could share this meal with any person, past or present, who would that person be?
Oh, goodness. You know, my grandma, who I passed away many years ago before I actually became a really talented chef, I think that she taught me a lot, and I didn't get to share a meal like this with her that I cooked. She would do this often for me, so it would be awesome to pay her back, I think.
Well, I'm certain she'd be very proud of all your accomplishments. Chef Jeff McInnis, thank you so much. And for more on The Dish, head to our website at CBS This Morning.